Juan, thanks for joining us to discuss La Liga's efforts around anti-piracy. Before we get started, maybe some background from you as far as your role within La Liga, what your actual title is, and also how big the team is fighting piracy.
I'm the Global Content Protection Manager of La Liga. I'm focused in the global aspects from a legal perspective. And in La Liga, we are more than 25 people working in this piracy, not only in Spain, but also around the world. We have our own lab with different backgrounds, people that are cybersecurity experts or engineers. And in that lab, we develop softwares and powerful tools to detect pirate content on the internet and obtain evidence for then file a legal action in any country of the world.
Right. So obviously, a lot of people are fighting piracy, but they'll work with a third-party vendor, and they'll a watermarking system. But you're developing your own technologies. So why develop your own technologies versus just buying an off-the-shelf third-party company?
Well, we think that we have the responsibility to fight against piracy. That's why we are putting all our efforts in this matter. That's why we are developing tools. Nowadays we have 4 tools which allow us to obtain technical evidence, which is very, very useful then to tackle the piracy. But that's the reason, because we assume this responsibility.
Right. So do you find you can be much more responsive quicker because you have more control over all that information?
Yeah, of course. When you have more information, it's better because you need to know where is the content hosted, or you need to know where is the piracy coming from, or if you have this information, it's going to be better for you to tackle the piracy.
Right. So since you have a global perspective, are there areas of the world where there's more piracy than others? Is it mostly in Spain, or is it mostly outside? There's a lot going on outside of Spain.
Well, this is a global problem, and the ecosystem of piracy is very particular because maybe you have a lot of users consuming piracy in a particular country, but the pirate content comes from another country. So it's difficult to reply to this question because we don't have a particular country, but we know that we have to work in every country of the world because this is a global problem.
Right. It's ironic because we're talking about the coronavirus and piracy spreads globally very quickly, within seconds. Do you think the sports industry does a good job with anti-piracy promotion as far as telling people, don't be a pirate, don't steal, you're hurting the product? Do you think the industry in general does a good job, or do you think it's pretty bad at it?
From our side, we teach our consumers in Spain that it's important to protect our content because the income from the broadcasters then is distributed to the clubs of our competition, and that's why it's so important to protect our product. But it's true that maybe all the industry needs to teach to the users about this problem and how dangerous it is for the industry.
Do you do, before every match, do you do advertisements, or do you do them during the match on TV? How do you kind of get the messaging out?
We used to do that. Nowadays we don't have any particular campaign, but we used to do to show a video campaign during and after the matches about the piracy, and was very, very useful, I think.
It was effective. People paid attention? Yeah. So as far as where things are going, what do you think the industry should do to work better together? How should they come together to share ideas?
I think that it's very important to work together because this is a problem that affects to all the stakeholders of the industry. In a streaming site, you will find content from different leagues, from different sports organizations. That's why I think that we have to put all the efforts together in order to fight against piracy. From La Liga, we are collaborating with other leagues through different coalitions, and then in particular situations we collaborate with other leagues, so I think it's very important to work together.
So you're working with the Belgian League, also MotoGP. How does it help in your efforts to work with other leagues?
Well, I think it's very, very useful for them and also for us because we learn a lot about them and the problems that they have. But I think it's a very good contribution from La Liga to collaborate with other leagues and other competitions, like you should say, Jupiler Pro League or MotoGP, but also we work together with the Ministry of Culture of Spain, so we are very open to show and to share our efforts against piracy.
Right, excellent, great. Well, thanks for joining us, Juan.
Thank you very much.
Safe travels home, and we'll see you soon.